How can you help yourself? Let's
Yeah,
focus on this a little bit.
yeah,
I'll fill in more details, I guess, before Ish comes back as to what's been happening to you. Um, you also have Adita, you also have some astral clones where think of this. You're traveling and let's say physical body falls asleep or you try to get out of body and your astral body is being captured or put in this controlled dream state to where you might think, oh, it's a dream and I'm doing stuff, but what you're experiencing, it is an overlay created that would provide you a story and make you feel safe. You drop your guard, considering it's just a dream, just an experience, but actually that overlay is to hypnotize you. It's like frosting on a cake, but the cake really is, and the true story is that you've been captured and your energy is being siphoned. And I'm seeing you have a few astral clones that are energetically targeted in a way of like think of like energy rod going and piercing your body. And specifically for you, I'm seeing the neck being targeted, um, your stomach area. If we would talk about, being a woman, your woman organs, your girly parts, your footsies is like keeping you grounded. So you physically might face more issues there where hard to digest. Uh, Maybe menstrual cycle is super painful. Uh, Stomach issues, stuff like that, like bloating or irregular bowel movements, stuff like that. Let's see. Okay, just turn off the video. Whatever. Good, 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 good. What else? Um, as regard and that, there is some connection to like as regards communication, but you might also have this feeling state where you want to talk and you have something to say, and it's like Eminem is rapping. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. You want to talk, and it sticks here in your throat, and you can't say it. And it's like you might have communication with people where you want to speak up, where you want to be honest, where you want to share how you feel, what you feel. You want to express yourself, and you know it would change everything. If that person would understand you, if you could just say that one thing and they look from your perspective, whatever they're assuming, they would look from your perspective and like, hey, I never thought this about you. Thank you for sharing. But that key thing, key phrase that would change everything, it's stuck here. And it's just so hard to be true and share that stuff. No matter how much you want to say, it just won't come out. So there's that. And I'll add that like us rushes back and just a few of the things I shared. A few things that you could do with those astral clones and some of the things I mentioned. If you feel it to yourself, imagine like, okay, well, there's a thing I might feel in my throat, and like if we're talking about like astral clones, then imagine or think about that body and that energy rod piercing, and you just like imagine as if you're taking that rod or cable and you're just pulling it out, and or you're just like uncreating it. It's no longer there. You can even like use your hand to scan your body for the problems. Like physically, you use your hand and you go like, okay, well, there's a bit more here. So there's information being stopped, or you don't have as easy access as you would like. Even like memories to your past lives, even the knowingness, all the tools you have and know of, it's already everything's within you. You don't need to ask or anyone else. But it's like that stuff is being stopped, and it's kind of like I have to have someone else help me, or I will not succeed in life. And there's like a lot of these background beliefs or core or like let's say soul agreements that are limiting you, but it's also like an overlay of like to make you feel smaller, to make you feel like you cannot do stuff yourself. Like you have all the tools. So you're scanning like, okay, well, there's that stuff here. Throat stuff, I already pulled it out. You're checking your chest and stuff, like, okay, my stomach. So whatever, like you have all the tools. So you go with the energy, whatever might feel heavier, denser. You're just going through your body and it feels like your hand just pops, like there's a bit more pressure here. Well, there's something there. And you ask, like, okay, well, what is it? And the first thought you get is the answer. So there's that. This energy clearing, however you might identify those things. Astral clones, if you feel like, you're being trapped or there's something that's being like messed with, you can uncreate the astral clones. You don't need them. You have aspects that you can tune into at any time, but if there are any parts of you that were created against your own free will and they're using you to harvest you, to mess with you, to have this voodoo doll effect or a bleacher effect, you can remove them. You can undo them. You don't need them. At the same time, all the parts of you that have been messed with, as you remove them, you can have this filter of like, okay, I just destroyed them, uncreated them, and all the energy that has went out, I run them through the filter where they clean up, where they no longer hold the mass or emotions or attachments, and you allow it to come back to you where now it is clear, it's healing, it's you, whatever you've let out, it can come back. So there's that. Rich, would you like to share more?
I need a specific issue or target to
Oh, I mean, like,
come up with some brilliant technique or something.
let's say
What?
let's go
Yeah.
back into some of the pastimes or aspects that we talked about. The
Hmm.
Trucians, the Irma, the Golden Crown, the scenarios where um Adita had these parts where she's fighting for something, she wants to share the truth, but she's attacked, and there's this part of suppressing herself or decisions made to no longer speak up or being found guilty and stuff like that, like the bleacher effect I've been talking about. Like just like stuff we've touched, the issues, how would you help the person?
Yeah, one of the easiest things would be soul contracts, looking at the agreements. And they don't have to be just a soul contract level, but agreements. What we agree to becomes our reality. And the story we tell ourselves, and like right now, you're hearing new stories about yourself. You don't have to accept them, you know. But the idea of getting a new story about what's going on uh, gives you context within which you can work a solution. Or if okay, if I made some agreements to do some shit for a worthy cause, but it backfired on me, what were those agreements exactly? It's all story, right? And you go, well, those that'd be I agreed that they needed help. I agreed that I failed, and I agreed that I wanted to fix it, and I agreed that I thought these guys were great guys, and then I found out they were bad guys, and I agreed now that they're bad guys. Now I got betrayed. Now I must be stupid. It's like all these agreements, but they are the story in practical terms. It's just a story, but you tell the story about the thing, and you find out what you're agreeing to, and now you can literally, consciously revoke those agreements. I no longer agree to that. I no longer believe I was tricked and deceived. I no longer believe I was stupid. I no longer believe I failed. You go, well, how can I do that when I failed? No, you believe you failed. That's why it's only a failure, because you believe it. It was a game. What you come up with after you revoke the agreements is all fresh and new. You are creating your new reality right here in present time. And there is no past, present, and future. It's all right now. So all that past and stuff that we're sharing with you, it becomes right here. And you're either the effect of it, you're the cause over it, it bothers you, or it doesn't. So all that happens right now. So sorting out the agreements and just revoking the agreements, like what I shared was like stupid fucking information. That would be just a belief. No, no, it wasn't. It was fucking brilliant.
There
That
you go.
fast. I fixed it. But yeah. You're getting the quick and dirty here on the solutions, but doing soul contract revocation and agreement revocation stuff will help. Along those same lines is releasing beliefs. Whatever you believe about these different areas of your life that you're feeling limited in. I believe I've lost my voice. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why, but you believe, and that makes it so. Uh, so there's different techniques you can release the limiting belief, and you can also create new positive beliefs. But yeah, it's a couple of things.
And another thing I'll add is being a Trucian and an empath and caring for people, and just out of nature where you try to fight and stand for those that, cannot do themselves, or the smaller masses, as you care about them, you will attract entities of other people. And you will be that empath, like a sponge, always taking up other people's stuff where you're feeling pain, let me release it for you. But it's like instead of releasing it, you take it up all upon yourself. And you're constantly taking, but you are not cleaning yourself enough. Or you're doing the work, but it's like grease clogging the pipes. It stays and it accumulates over time and it becomes, bigger, thicker to the point where what you're doing currently, as regards spiritual work or self work, it's not giving you as many results as you would like. So unclogging those pipes or cleaning yourself up is like a really important thing, but how would you do that? Um, you might have done it in the past, but I would say like giving the permission for entities and alters and other aspects and fragments and other consciousness pieces and anyone connected, giving them a permission to leave you, to find a place. And it's like, one is like, okay, anyone in my space that does not want to be here, that feels trapped, that feels stuck, that feels lost, that has difficulties, you have my permission to leave. You can go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for helping me out. Whatever reason you had to stay with me, you're free to go. Thank you. I love you. Bye. Just stating something like that in your own words, however you feel. That's one thing. You can imagine, think of a reality, a realm that would be like a safe haven for someone else. And if you have a hard time visualizing, think about writing that fantasy story. Well, one day there was this little forest, and there's a mountains in the distance, and there's a cabin in the woods, and this world is perfect with a lot of happy, cute little animals, and you're just writing your paragraph about what the world looks like and what it is. And it's like you invite, okay, if there are beings who are stuck here, who are feeling depressed and who would like to be free, I've just created the world for you where you will have all of your needs met, and you give them that invitation to the world you've just imagined, and they can leave you. And you will feel like this heaviness, stuff that was like pressuring you, leaves. But keep in mind that being a Trucion, where one, you're saving people, you're helping them to travel, but two, you have been used against your own free will to trap someone. So now you have beings that you never wanted to have within your space. You can allow them to leave by creating a world where they will be able to have their full memory, where they can decide from that point of view whatever they want to do and move on. And you clear your reputation from that. And another thing I would look like, there's just a lot. Getting rid
Mm,
of, yeah, go on, Rich.
about the Trucion, we still. I have something to say about the
Yeah, go on.
Trucion
Yeah,
phenomenon.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Another way to look at it, especially if you're watching this and you go, "Well, I'm not a Trucion," some of the other viewers. Imagine this: this system, this physical system of mine, it has a microscopic critters all over it. There's microbes. They're really parasympathetic bacteria. All these kind of separate little entities. Okay. Now imagine each one also has an astral plane. They're all on the astral. Or let's get even smaller into the nanoparticles and the subatomic particles and quantum physics. You get a piece of sentient consciousness that is being a super small microbe sort of thing. It's in this body. But at that level, this body doesn't look like a body anymore. It looks like a vast universe. There's lots of distance between the atom and the electron, or the proton and the electron. There's a vast distance. And at this level of smallness, my own body would look like the Trucion. It's like a metaphor, or it's similar in that way. Now, but I am the Trucion. Now, as a technique, I could say, look, if there are any of you loving, wonderful beings that are in my system would like to be free, you are free to go. And you can literally imagine giving bacteria, harmful bacteria and germs and virus phenomena, permission to leave your system. And that alone is a spiritual technique that will help release the physical bacteria, but also the energetic or spiritual consciousness that is inhabiting the physical body of the bacteria. Just like I'm inhabiting the physical body, this body, I'm in spirit, I leave. You can allow or let the microbes and the microbacteria leave. And the bodies will just, dissolve and process the way our body physically does. Anyway, it's just another deeper look at the phenomenon.
Yeah, and the last thing I would add is because in a lot of cases where we look at the past or your other aspects that have been, you know, you've been used against your own free will, it's like it creates a reputation where a lot of beings might feel like, hey, you're the bad guy. While you have intentions to save someone, you're being used and they don't know that or they don't see that. And it's like, why is this Trucion trapping others? Oh, it's a bad Trucion. We should get rid of it. So now it's like, while you might try to help and connect with other beings, a lot of what we would consider, oh, well, there's good guys, or, like we would look at the positive races or benevolent races. It's like you lose their support. And all of a sudden you become this invisible being who is on the side of like, is it good or bad? And a lot of people will choose to like kind of disconnect from you and not provide the help, considering like looking at your past or the information they've gotten you, like sort of disconnect from you. You could state or imagine giving that information, providing info like, hey, I have been targeted, I've been used against my own free will. There's been like a lot of incidents where things I've done, I was under control and I'm sorry. So you stay that, and a lot of beings will get a different perception of you. It will change your reputation where those that might have wanted to help you out but didn't now will like, hey, okay, she needs help and we're here for her. So they'll want to connect with you, they'll want to provide help, they want to support you. So I think that would be helpful as well.
Yeah, which brings in the idea of the Ho'oponopono technique. It's a variation of that, of, hey, look, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and thank you for understanding, or thank you for whatever. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do things that will help you. It's just imagining or finding techniques that seem logical to you that would work, and then actually doing those things, because there's so many things that transpire just by what we think and feel about it, and including spiritual cleansing and healing work.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mhm.
So I think we'll be done with this quick scan. Like it's just a quickie, giving you a little perspective. For the future, if you do any work on yourself, you might want to look into your past, specifically your mom's lineage. And there's some correlation with the Ashkenazi Jews, the karmic transference, a lot of these like curses, black magic stuff being transferred onto you. So where you might feel like you have bad luck, you're being targeted, your reputation, again, you might do healing work, you might want to work with others, but having this pushback and mistrust and other stuff, there's a lot of things in the background that I see, but uh, anyway, it's a quickie. We can always go much deeper, but hopefully this was of any use for you. And yeah, that's about it for this read. Thank you, Adita.
Wow. Thank you, Avila. That was amazing.